see a name like Shimani, I'm worried. I'm like, okay, which underage child do we have here?
No, I'm kind of an underage.
Okay.
And I think I need to share some of my issues since I can relate to the topic.
Okay. As long as at least we can't see your face or anything like that, so it's fine. You can go ahead and share.
Yeah, so in my situation, it's a kind of like a cage situation because I can't really speak up.
Okay.
You know, what happened is that in 2019, I went to visit my dad where he was working in Teflop.
Okay.
By then, a year before, I had an abortion. I was 15 years old. My family decided I had to abort. So the following year, early March, I went to visit my father. During the visit, the first day, we slept in the same room because it was like renting at the place. So the first day he slept on the floor.
Okay.
Then the second day, it was like raining and it was very, very, very cold. So he decided he was gonna sleep with me on the bed.
Okay.
Yeah. So at night, he came really close to me and he just started talking about things, you know, sexually harassing things. He started talking to me about my termination. He said he wanted to teach me some of the things that I should know as a woman. He then instructed me to insert my fingers inside my vagina. At that moment, I was really scared because I thought he was gonna rape me or something. But I don't know what happened. He just kept quiet and went out and stopped talking about everything. In the morning, I decided to call my mom, tell her what happened because I didn't feel good. I didn't feel safe after all. I really didn't feel safe. So I called my mom. When I was about to talk to her, he came in. So I couldn't talk anymore. I was scared. If I tell her, they would do something to me because I was really feeling unsafe. My mom just shouted to me, like, if you don't want to talk, just shut up. It's going to affect you. Like, I just feel like she didn't talk to me in a proper way for me to be open to her when I get home. You get what I'm saying? When I got home, I just let it slide. But it was really hurting me. To a point, I started having anger issues. I still have them right now. It started in 2019. I wanted to go and report it, but I thought that I wouldn't get support from my mom because she has been abused in a relationship for like years. Ever since I was a kid, I don't remember her not being abused. She was physically beaten in front of us. So I just feel like telling her will be useless because she can't help herself. How was she going to help me? Then again, I thought of my siblings. I thought of my brother and my younger sister. How were they going to live? Because we are all depending on him financially.
Okay.
I thought that I needed to go to varsity. Who was going to pay for my fees? Who was going to pay for accommodation and clothing? So this year I decided to get therapy because it has been hard, honestly. I've been having nightmares. It has been hard to sleep ever since. And I am failing because in 2022 I became a mother. I'm failing to be a mother to my son. I have anger issues. Or I get angry in each and everything he do, and he has to do some things because he's a kid. He just has to do that. But to me, it's a very used thing because of the trauma. So I just feel like I can't just talk. Maybe therapy is the only thing that's gonna help me right now as I'm doing it. But I feel like I can't go to the police. I can't go anywhere because I have siblings. My mother, how is she going to support me because she can't help herself out? Yeah.
So, ever since that incident between you and your dad, what has been happening?
He came back home permanently in 2020. So the thing, what happens is if there's no one at home, I always have a knife by my side.
Okay.
Just in case. So that's what freaks me out because what if someone enters in an improper way, and I think it's him going to do something, and I end up doing something bad, you know.
Yeah.
For my own security, I always have a knife. If there's no one, if my mom is not at home, my siblings are not at home, I make sure that I have a weapon because I don't feel safe around him at all. I try by all means not to show anything that have happened. I try by all means to be like a normal being when I'm around him, but I know that I'm not safe. I don't feel safe because I don't even feel like my sister is safe. I have a 6-year-old sister. I don't feel like he's safe around him. I don't like her being around him because I have seen.
So when you say that your mother has been abused her entire marital life, was she being abused by the same man who sexually assaulted you?
Yes, it is my biological father.
I see people are asking if he's your biological
for
father.
like the rest of our lives.
Sorry?
Yes, it is the same man.
Sure. I just followed you, ne? Because okay, I want to find out from you before I can let other people maybe who have something to say to you speak.
Yeah.
So far, what do you feel like, if you were to be completely honest with yourself, what do you feel like is needed for you to get the healing and the closure that you want? What do you desire from this situation?
Like I said, I'm trying therapy.
Okay.
I was doing an online therapy, but someone recommended me to a hospital. They give free therapy there.
Okay.
So I've went twice. I just feel like it's not helping. I feel the same. I do talk, I do cry, but I just feel like it's not helping because I see him every day. I do see him. When I'm at home, I see him.
Let's say in an ideal world, ne, where you didn't have to consider all the things that you are considering now, if you were to be completely honest with yourself, what would you say you would want to be done?
I would want him to get arrested if it wasn't for my mother, my siblings. If it was just me facing him, I would have gone to the authorities.
Okay. Okay, let me allow other people who maybe have something that they can share with you, because I feel like right now, whoever that wants to say anything to the lady, you can just unmute yourself and share.
I think I'm going to money. Yes.
Okay, I think one wrong person just exited the live. Is there anybody else who would like to share something?
Yes, I would like to share something. Hi, Shimani, how are you? I'm fine, thanks. How are you? I'm fine. My name is Petrunia. Yeah, I'm 29 years of age from Mokopani. I also had a similar situation, but then it was not exactly like yours. Now the anger that I got is because I had a baby out of wedlock, and you know what? As other churches, we do have a culture. Yeah, or having a child before marriage, it's unacceptable. I've grown like so, and it was something. It was difficult because being raised by what we call a pastor. You know, to let, for example. So I had, ever since I found out that I was pregnant, I started having anger issues because of I felt pregnant by a guy that I never even loved. It was just something that it was a trip. And another thing is because they once gave me a prophecy that if ever you can be in a relationship when I felt pregnant. But I thought maybe I was strong enough whereby I would just hold myself. I didn't know moving from home to other places, I went out of the covering of God. So to cut the story short, what I wanted to advise you is that for you can go and get the therapy. Like you said, you still feel the same. Sometimes we don't need people who did hurt us to be arrested. Sometimes you need to forgive them. The inner peace. You need to tell Shimane that's in you that Shimane you're gonna move on. You're gonna forgive this man, irrespective how painful it is. Now I was blaming myself. Even today, I'm not totally healed because of I can sorry. I still have situations, but you need to fight and forgive yourself For you now you've been hard on yourself. You're mad at yourself. Sometimes you're blaming yourself. Why did you want to tell? Why did you do that? Why didn't you speak out? Well, when are the situation that you are now? Okay, I'm gonna include Tabaya spiritually because of I'm one kind of person who believe it. You should balance someone spiritually and physically because of anything that happens spiritually, it manifests physically. So you need to forgive your father. You know why am I saying this? It is not easy. I can't be arrested, but just know one of the good days. You know, our country, justice, I know, Pila is a viewer on which you need to forgive him for the sake of the man that will be in your life. Because of right now, I don't know you, but I know I can tell you what you don't even want to be in a relationship anymore because of you think all men are the same. So you need to forgive. If you can manage to forgive that man, because of the spirit of anger, forgive. And if you can't forgive, you can't let something go. If I'm arrested, or someone forgive you won't forget. I can good. You won't forgive him. You will forget. And forget. It's not about you forget because of you no longer see him every day. But trust me, the demon of lack of forgiveness, it will come even you will have dreams. You'll think about it. You'll be in a relationship with someone who will do something and because now you have an anxiety. You'll be in a relationship with someone who will do the same thing your father did or will say something unintentionally and that thing it will the demon lack of forgiveness. Immediately anxiety. Now I couldn't forgive myself for I felt pregnant. I felt pregnant out of wedlock. I couldn't forgive myself for after being pregnant. I was maybe a better example because of when I speak, but you never you know, like you speak live. Even today, I will just wake up being angry at myself. Anger, it's like a tree. It has branches. Anger, it's the spirit it will even give you a spiritual husband because of whatever trauma that you went through. You don't close it, get the forgiveness and forget. It over, you end up decide, don't worry, I'm just gonna help myself, then I'll leave men and immediately start the journey of helping yourself. You will never get out. And another thing, it's a generational case. If you're a firstborn, whatever that your mom ever, you're going through that now. And that thing, if you cannot forgive your father. I know it is not easy, my dear sister. I will not trust me. I know the feeling that you had. Pain, anger, someone did this. I fall. But all I can tell you, the first step. Therapy, it will help you. The first step is to forgive. Forgiveness is not easy. Forgiveness, it is not easy. Our host can attest to this if I'm not lying. Yeah. Forgiveness is not an easy thing because you don't just say, I'm forgiving you, Teddy. It's okay. No. And forgiveness, you pray about it and say, God, now I'm ready to forgive this man. You face your father, confront him. Do you still remember you once did this? I say to Mele, I've forgiven you. You don't write the message. You're facing the cage, you're facing the jail, you're facing the prison that you are in. You're unlocking yourself from that because of if ever someone can unlock for you, you will still feel like you're in jail even though you're outside because of you never use the authority and the power and the audacity to take yourself out of that. You face your father and say, Papa, I forgive you for ruining my life. And thank you for bringing the pain into my life because of tomorrow I'm going to be a living testimony. Being a victim of such things, my dear one, God doesn't allow them. Because of there are women who are still coming. You're gonna stand on the altars and say, "Women, wanna wake up." You can by the people that you don't know. I was the victim of my own father, someone who gave birth to me. But today I'm standing here because of in order for you, everything you Mudim is preparing something greater. That child deserves to be loved. If you guys talk about your child can also do whatever because of generational curse is something that is very dangerous. Forgive and forget. Forgiveness is the foundation of everything. Thank you.
Oh, thank you so much, my darling.
Can I say something? Okay. I do understand what she's saying, forgiveness, but it is not easy to forgive someone who is continuously doing something. About me, yes, he did the harassment once, but there is abuse. He is continuously doing it. He's not stopping the abuse of my mother, and there is my sister on the other side. There is a person I'm thinking about. I have forgiven him on that. It was like 5 years ago. The thing what I have in me is fear. I have fear, yes, and anger. I do have anger, but forgiveness, I have forgiven him, but I cannot forget. It's not easy to live because there is abuse. You get what I'm saying? And I'm unable to talk to my mother. I'm unable to talk to her.
Apostle?
Can I just support his statement for forgiveness? Please. Okay. You can
Guys,
continue,
the rest
sir, but
of you
please
guys,
elaborate.
can you just switch off the mics because of the backgrounds are not okay. If someone is it's online, it's active because of we cannot hear.
Okay. Yeah, everybody else can just mute and then
Can I please
allow one
elaborate
person.
on what you said, my sister?
Yes.
Okay.
Forgiveness actually works in hand with understanding God's will. Whatever you went through in life, it wasn't your own will, it wasn't your own pressure, it wasn't your own doing, but it's you actually accepting the situation that you were in because you were chosen to go through those hardships. You are the chosen one to actually bear every curse, as she said. Generational curses are very dangerous due to tin. Nkulunkulu actually, like God, actually tests your patience and tests your will as a human being. How are you going to be able to stomach being alone? And you would have to start by understanding what you are standing alone, and everyone else, they are a testimony of your growth. They are a living. You have to actually try and work with. We are not doing everything with our own will. Just try and be tuned with God's will. It's His will that you are going through so much. You are going through so much hardships. Try to understand and try to pray and say, "Nkulunkulu Baba, Moya Ngcwele, can you please try and show me what I'm actually going through? Why am I going through such hard times? Why is life such a hard thing for me? Bearing everything that it's on my shoulders. Family not wanting to work with me hand in hand. Telling them this is 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 is wrong, but they would still feel inferior. You know why? Because before that blessing came to you, it was on their shoulders. Before that blessing came to on your shoulders, it was with them. And they were the ones that rejected it because it was too hard. And seeing someone who's younger actually fighting their life, fighting everything, going against every evil spirit that's on their shoulders, going against the curses that were laid upon, everything that is coming to you, it comes on your shoulders, and you are praying, you are going down on your knees. So it's not them trying to fight you physically. Remember, everything is happening on a spiritual level. They're trying to break your spiritual form. They're trying to break that force field that you building around you. By them doing that, you will never be able to forgive if you're not actually accepting within. What happened in the past wasn't in my shoulders. What happened in the past wasn't in my hands, but it was God's will to within. I would actually be able to learn from my experiences, to learn from everything that has happened to me, because I was never in my hands in the first place. Father God, you know, within, I took wrong decisions. This happened to me. It wasn't my own will. Remember, Witini, in this world, we are being driven by our angels, by our forefathers, by God Himself. He lives and He walks and He breathes the same way with you. And you have to start by simply believing in that and simply believing, Witini, God is with you, God is in tune with you, and you would have to actually work with Him and actually accept His will and actually accept the way that He wants you to go. It's not going to be easy. Remember that. And always put that in mind within Him. For their the chosen ones, it's never going to be easy. You will see people bearing fruits, but we never know what they're going to do at night. You will never know what they're doing alone when they're in the corners. So if you are living life in a straight manner, trying to be in tune with God, it's not going to be easy, because He's going to constantly try to see how strong are you by letting the people around you break you. And if they don't break you, they're going to resent you. They're going to hate you for years. And then if God is actually trying to build you, because they'll be asking themselves, why is she the one who's doing this? Why is she the one who's praying so much? Why is she the one who's... Your presence means a lot. They do not hate you for who you are. They hate you because your presence means a lot. Your experiences means a lot. I mean, just think about it. You were able to actually have a child and actually raise her on your own. If you're raising her on your own, that's God's blessings. How many do not actually make it into this world due to Utini? They are not, those women are not strong enough to say, let me bring this soul into this world. That not bringing that soul, it's also they are part of growth. They are part of actually becoming stronger on God's will. Because at some point, she will look back and say, oh, Velinga, Nkulunkulu Baba Moyo Ngcwele, I went through so much in life and you were able to bless me with this much. Ngiyabonga uNkulunkulu ukuthi now I can actually see the life that you blessed me with, the way that I was supposed to work. So try and be actually accept ukuthi the hardships, the hard times, the hatred coming from family. It's not on your shoulders. It's not by your doing. So understand, Wutini, it's God's will for them to actually, yes, for the fact that you can even see them hating you that much. You are becoming more in tune with His will. He's showing you, look, this is how much they do not like you. The very same father who gave birth to you, the very same mother who gave birth to you, hate you so much that you know very well, Uti, if they would find you in a place whereby it's the jungle or in a forest, they will actually take a knife, literally stab you. If they're stabbing you behind your back and you don't see it, but you see it through their words, you see it through their actions, whenever you walk into a room, you feel their anger, just walks in and gets upon yourself with, hey, this person hates me so much. Remember, it's not your doing. It's God's will that they hate you so much. Unkulunkulu is the only one that knows why are you going through those situations that are you going through. Why is He letting them actually show them? But for the fact of you should be grateful. For the fact that you're seeing them on your shoulders, trying to weigh you down. They see how strong you are. Physically, spiritually, and mentally, they can see how strong you are. So understand, Uti, it's not your doing. It's God's will.
Thank you so much.
If they don't hate you, their anger will go to your younger sister, who you care so much about. And if they start hating your sister, of course it will get to you. But understanding that it's God's will, that the two of you have to go through so much hardships. Your bond, He knows what He's doing. His will is not known by anyone else but Himself. Who is the bearer of the fruits of life? Who is the bearer of our gifts? Who is the bearer of our ways? And the darkness and both in the lightness. Because remember, for you to be in the darkness, it has to be in His will. Remember, there was the Inqebu in the Bible, which they had an agreement with God Himself, and He was like, here, you can have him, but do not touch his soul. So you can tempt him to try and break him and make him a dust, but they never passed. They never passed with Bampuli, because he was God's, not a human being. So Melupin Kumbule, start by remembering that you're not a person's person, but you're God's person. And your forefathers and your ancestors, your parents, they're pretty like you're first filled. Remember, they're actually going to God and saying, make her strong, make her. When they get to God, God actually bestows the blessing of strength upon you. He bestows the blessing of seeing the people that do not love you in this world. Remember that He's the greatest. He's the forefather of all our soul. And there's this thing that I always tell myself, remember to say it's fine. As long as it's your will. Just try and understand, Timmy, everything we're going through, it's God's will, Mama.
Oh, thank you so
Thank you
much, my
very
brother. I
much.
really, really appreciate
Amen.
you. Amen. Thank you so much. Apostle.
Shalom, shalom, people of God.
Shalom, man of God.
Yes, how are we doing?
We are getting there. We are getting there. Thank you very much.
Wonderful. How are you, Shimani? I'm sorry to ask you this, but how old did you say you were, so that maybe we can fraction the advice according to the age, looking at the struggles that are surrounding you and the limitations that you are being faced with for you to remain in such a toxic environment?
Thank you. That was back in 2019. I was 17 years old. I was 17 years of age. Right now, I'm 21 years old.
Okay, so it means you are still very, very much dependent on your family and your mom and your dad. So you are restricted to being around them.
Yes, very true.
Wonderful. Yes, okay. Now, I want you to pick 3 things that I'm going to speak about here. It is forgiveness, then fear, then the anxiety that they were talking about, and then acceptance. Forgiveness, as I like to put it, it is the ability to stomach pains that you have passed through. Forgiveness doesn't mean that you are excusing the pains that you have passed through, but it is the ability to stomach those pains and exist above those pains. So you have been wronged at a very tender age. You have been molested by someone that was supposed to be a protector to you, by someone who was supposed to be a father figure to you, and you ended up losing hope in the idea of having a father figure. So now you have to come to a place of forgiveness, not for other people, but for yourself. The forgiveness is not for the other people. The forgiveness is not for your father. It is for yourself, so that you can begin your healing process. Because in the absence of forgiveness, healing will not be found. Healing will not be present. So you need to come to a place where you forgive, so that you can heal yourself. You can come to a place of saying, this has happened to me. Now I have to soldier on and make something for my name, so that those who are coming behind me do not have to endure the same atmosphere that I was brought up into. Because like the majority of people have said here, the weight that you are carrying now is going to be transferred to the little sister that I believe you said you have. So the forgiveness is for yourself, the healing is for yourself, and then the result of these 2 processes is going to help those who are coming behind you. Because if you can manage these 2 processes, you have created an atmosphere that will be conducive for the people that are coming. You will come to a place where you can be able to raise the little sister that is growing behind you. And now, getting to your mother, the reality of the situation is, if you don't speak up about the traumas that you are going through, you are of age, you have reached a level of maturity that even legally it is allowed for you to now speak out. If you don't speak out, because as I was listening to you, you are limited in your speech to speak out because the father is still around and you are afraid to converse with your mother. I want to call you to the room of light to say, speak out. The pains that you have endured under that roof, your mom has to be conscious of those realities. And if she is also conscious of those realities and she is not doing anything, let her know the space that you are in to say, Mama, I know you know what I have passed through. Mama, I know you know what I am going through. Because I was hearing you say something like you are sleeping with knives when you are all alone in the house. You are having knives on your bed. It means there is a possibility for the trauma to repeat itself. It means that this man is still a devil in that house. And it will take your voice to cast out that devil, to bring the devil out in the open. And I am happy that this platform is the first phase of you speaking out. I am very, very happy that you are speaking out, because it takes courage, it takes strength for you to even appear on this platform and share with strangers like ourselves. This is the first bold step that you have taken into addressing the demonic energy that you find yourself in. Because no one wants a father who can be able to abuse them the way that you have been abused. So it is now going to be your responsibility to gather courage again, to say, how do I speak out so that this man doesn't repeat the actions, so that this man doesn't go down to my sister, so that this man does not continue the behavior of abusing my mother. I want to ask you this question. Is your mother working?
No, she's not working. She does part-time jobs though.
Okay. What are you doing yourself?
I'm a law student at the University of South Africa.
You are a law student at the university. Now, sometimes we are subject to abuse because of our current situations. We are subject to abuse because of our current situations. Because if I can ask you this question, maybe it's going to come out as yes. Is he the provider for the family?
Yes, he is.
You see, that leverage over you guys, you have to come to a place with your mom where that leverage is no longer viable. Because if he is the one who is providing that, it means he is having authority over all of you. And he can do whatever he pleases. This is how he has power over you guys. Because he's the one who's providing. So you need to come to a place of agreeing with your mom to find a common footing, a common ground, to say, how can we provide for ourselves so that I can excel in my law degree and you, mama, can find something that is comfortable in order for us to provide for ourselves. It is very, very painful because some situations we cannot solve them by giving advice. I am someone who believes in being realistic in situations, because this is not a situation that needs words. It's a situation that needs practical help. You understand? I wish we could have this authority, we could have this power where we can help people like you. We can direct them to the right places. And I wish Perseverance could have such connections. Such connections that when we have someone like you in this kind of platform, we can do tangible things, like helping you find a family that can help you until you finish school, and mama can find something that she can be doing, and she has her own power that she commands, and this man does not have a grip over your life, guys. And this is my prayer to you. Joseph was rejected by his own family. Joseph was rejected by his own parents. Joseph was rejected by everyone who had him and the dreams that he carried. I want to assure you that when the time is right, you will celebrate, but it starts with forgiveness. Because even in the midst of all the rejection that happened in the life of Joseph, the Bible still says, in the time of famine, the brothers of Joseph came into Egypt and they saw that Joseph was the prime minister of that day. And he did not chase them away. He embraced them to show them that you're trying me and your persecution has led me to this place. I have accepted God and raised above platforms that I thought would break me. And here I am today. So start with the place of forgiveness. Even if you can go to therapy, if you yourself don't cancel yourself, if you yourself don't forgive yourself for not being strong enough to be molested, if you yourself don't forgive yourself for not having enough strength to speak out, I can assure you that you continue in the same pains. And I pray that God allows for you to grow and mature beyond the now situation, and you can rejoice tomorrow. People of God, I wish we could do something tangible. Madam Speaker, please find people who can sponsor these platforms, find partners, find NGOs. I believe in South Africa, because me, I'm in Botswana. Please reach out to them. Please reach out to them and find out if they can, reach out to people like this one. Thank you, people of God. And God bless you.
Thank you so much, man of God. I'm actually working on having an NGO myself, but I do have people that we are working with in the meantime. Shimani, please do reach out. There's a number that is on my bio. It's a WhatsApp number. When you click on that number, it's going to take you to, if you say hi on it, it's gonna give you a link to a WhatsApp group that you can join, where we will be able to, at least, if you can be part of that community, at least you will be within arm's reach for us to be able to help you further than this. Also, one thing that I wanted to add on to what everybody else has been saying so far, especially regarding the issue of therapy. I'll need you to understand one thing about therapy. I'm a big fan of therapy. Therapy is the same as when you go to the gym. When you go to the gym, it's painful. The exercises themselves, they are painful, but there are certain things that you need to put in place for therapy to be able to work for you. Like they are saying, or in terms of you forgiving and you being able to be open and honest about what is happening to you, and sharing, finding a point where you share this thing with your mother, because I think that's where the turnaround point is going to be. Therapy is the same as if you're going to go to the gym and still be able to eat unhealthy and be lazy and do all these things, the gym will never ever work for you. Therapy works in the same way. For therapy to be able to work for you, you need to do the background check yourself. And also with therapy, it's the same as when you are going to the gym today, the body hurts today, you will not see results today. So I need you also to be very, very patient with yourself when you are going through the process of therapy. And also in whatever that you believe in, if it is God that you believe in, involve God even in your therapy sessions. My therapist, I thank God, she's a woman of faith, you understand? So in us being able to walk through the journey of therapy together, we are able to even involve God in that. So if you are a person who is a believer of Christ, you should be able to involve him even in the process of your therapy, to say, Lord, heal me from the inside out, And also the things which are being said and which are being shared, I hope you will be able to even go back and rewatch the whole video from YouTube, so that if there are any parts or any points that you have missed, you'll be able to note everything down and pay attention to things which you feel like these things are going to work for me. And I have no doubt, I'm one person who believes so much in the power of, just the willingness of you wanting to be better, to heal and to move away from the point where you are. Because if this thing was not hurting you, you are not going to be here today. But the fact that you are not comfortable in that position, the fact that you want to get out, the fact that you want it so badly, it's good enough for you to be able to be hopeful, to say, listen, eventually I'm going to get out of it. You understand? You being able to be here to share, and also to have that ear to listen to what people have to say and advise you based on your situation. I do believe, Ori, you have taken a big step, the biggest step of your life, and your life will never ever be the same again. The position that you are at right now, I was having a conversation with another lady during the day who's going through whatever it is that she's going through. And she was saying to me, Perseverance, I'm in an excruciating pain. And I told her that the pain that you are feeling today, you will never feel it anymore. I love the word of God during the time when the Israelites were leaving Egypt and they were going to cross over the Red Sea. And when they saw the Egyptians coming closer to them, and they were saying to Moses, these people are coming. And he said, when God said you must part the Red Sea for the people of God to cross through the Red Sea, he said, tell my people that the Egyptians that you are seeing today, you shall see them no more. I need you to understand that the pain that you are feeling right now, whatever it is that you are going through right now, the pain that you are feeling today, if you allow yourself and you acknowledge yourself that the Egyptians which are in your life, the things which are hidden in your life, that you are unable to be honest with yourself and share, these are the Egyptians in your life that you will not see no more from this day going forward. You need to make these declarations in your own life, because I can make the declarations for you, but if you do that for yourself, I'm telling you, you will never ever go wrong. I'm getting so emotional as I'm speaking. I don't know if there's anybody else who has not said anything to her who would like to share something to her.
Madam Masipalani.
Hi.
Hi, Ninjani.
Siyaphila njani?
I don't know where to start. Long time ago, Mankola, very, very long time ago, bengihlala efamily yakaboma, and ngisuke kuma, I think benginaboma 6-7, ngayohlala kagokwami. So ugokwami ubenabantwana abaningi. So besingabantwana, I think it was me and my 2 cousins. Well, mine it's different because obenza lezi zinto kumina akusiyo umuntu wesilisa, but it was my aunt. Angazi ngakhuluma ngayo till today.
And then bekazongimolesta like each and every single day if kungekho umuntu ejardini. And then what she did to me, I felt like uyele wavula a can of worms, because emva kwalokho it was rape after rape after rape after rape. To a point ukuthi amanye ama-rape bengiwa-alawa, because if bengingawa-alawi, I wouldn't be here and sharing this today. So akekho umuntu engike ngakhuluma naye ngalento. Sengimdala, ngiwumama, nginabantwana. I'm angry. I've been rejected all my life. I'm lonely, and sometimes kuba nzima ukukhuluma nabantu because kuba ngathi